Real Country 1430 AM and 107.3 FM WRDN. And good morning. I'm Brian Winnikins. We are at the Wabasha County Fair. And this morning, we're going to have the Wabasha County Fair Hog Show here in our live streaming service, and we would like to say thank you to our sponsors. Without these businesses and organizations helping us out, it's pretty simple. You would not be able to be watching this. We wouldn't be having this on air. So please thank all of our sponsors for supporting our broadcasts and our live streaming service, including Wisconsin Credit Union, also Shannon Crop Services, Synergy Co-op, the Happy Duck LLC, 24/7 in West Wisconsin Telecom, Elsivia Co-op, SFB Security Financial Bank, Compeer Financial, Hurlburt Heating and Plumbing, Martin Transport, Osseo Plastics, Dunn Energy, and also Value Implements. And again, thank you to our sponsors. We are using for our live streaming, just to let you know, we are using our cell phone and hotspot, so we may have some dropouts, but we hopefully the broadband and the service will stay okay. But we'll do the best we can with what we have here, and hopefully you will enjoy our hog show here coming up in just a couple minutes from the Wabasha County Fair. Stick around, the hog show coming up.
Have the swine exhibitors come up here towards the judging table, come into the ring here quickly. We'll have a brief meeting before we start the show.
Thursday morning at the Wabasha County Fair. Please note, if you have parked near the barn, up above in the driveway, please remove your vehicle. Please move your vehicle to the parking lot if you have parked up by the barn. Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to get our hog show underway. We're going to be starting with Clover Buds first. Clover Buds first.
Clover Buds. There are 2 Clover Buds with us today. We'll work through all the show classes and then come back with showmanship at the end of the show. So as we begin, we have our judge with us today, and so we get a chance to thank him for his work. But Ralph Taylor is judging for us today. We appreciate him coming up to the fair for that. And again, thank you to everyone who's helped here today and yesterday and through the year to put the fair together. So with that, we'll begin. We have our 2 clerks here who will call the classes as they are needed to come into the room. So we'll start when we're done with Clover Buds. We'll move right into the show.
So in the ring right now we have 2 Clover Buds. One is Alexa Jossa and one is Graceland Jossa.
Good morning, everyone. What a great way to start the day. We had some rain yesterday. It makes us one of the breadbaskets in the United States in agriculture. Right now, when a lot of the country is facing drought and poor crops, we're looking pretty good around here. We got a great class of Clover Bud exhibitors to start out. I think it's great to see these youngsters participating in this event. You can tell they're dedicated. Both of them like working their animals. As a judge, it's nice to see. You can see they work with them. The animals are calm. They're manageable. You can tell these girls know how to control their bids. They're going to be great competitors as they get older. Having youngsters like this with this skill level will raise the bar for everyone in the show. Both of them plan to continue with the exhibiting in the Swine area. And again, really a great show. Some really powerful exhibitors that have a lot of skills. It will be fun to watch them over the years and see how they develop and how well they do when they're able to take trips and compete at higher levels. So let's give them a round of applause for great work and having them available.
Next in the ring will be the purebred breeding guild class, and the exhibitor is Morgan Fitzgerald.
Yeah, for you. We were thinking an hour in our mind, you know, so we got to start on the road.
Just a single entry, a February Berkshire gilt, you know, very lean, high profile gilt in terms of her overall structure. She's got some shape over the top, a real wide base, some natural thickness, really good in her underline, so I think an excellent replacement gilt. We'll have a couple commercial gilts to come in and we'll do our overall breeding gilt placement. She is a blue red.
Again, you are watching the Wabasha County Swine Show here at the Wabasha County Fair on our live streaming service at Durand Broadcasting WRDN. I'm Brian Winnikins. Thank you to our sponsors, including Osteoplastics, also Martin Transport, Hurlburt Heating and Plumbing.
The commercial breeding guild, and the exhibitors in here are Lily Didbach, and Jonathan Harvey.
So commercial breed guild coming up. Again, thank you to our sponsors, including SFB Security Financial Bank, Alcivia Co-op, 24/7 in West Wisconsin Telecom, the Happy Duck LLC, Synergy Co-op, Shannon Crop Services, and Wisconsin Credit Union. May experience some buffering as you watch the show today. Again, we're using our cell phone as a hotspot. And again, rural broadband. That's, boy, it should be nice to have. But hopefully I got the cell phone in the exact spot so it'll continue to work. But again, you might experience some buffering here while we watch the show. This is the Wabasha County Swine Show here at the Wabasha County Fair. I'm Brian Winnikins here on WRDN. Thanks for joining us this morning. We'll have the beef show here coming up later on this afternoon as well at about 1 o'clock.
In this class, we have two commercial breeding gilts in the class, both January hogs. And you can see there's some considerable differences in the growth and performance between the two. Both of the gilts have very good underlines. They're reproductively sound. When we get in and just evaluate them due to the advantages, the overall performance and power, the big gilt will be first in place. The young man here with the hand cross gilt will be second place. Again, as you see, I give her an advantage. She's a little more flex and reach in her stride as compared to the gilt top, but just not the overall power and As we do our overall for the gilts, we'll place all three of these. It'll be down. We have our Brook gilt and our first place commercial breeding gilt. I think this class gets a little closer. As we talked before, we have the hand cross gilt, a big, powerful hog, a lot of reach to her, maybe not quite a sound in her structure and her movement, doesn't have quite the flex. Both of them are very good in their shape and design. Today we'll go with the big gilt for being our champion. The Brook gilt will be reserved, and the hand cross gilt in front of it, the young man, will be third. And you'll come back for the state fair lineup when we're done with market hogs.
So we're going to begin our market guild class, which we have 9 pigs, so we're breaking that into 2. So this is where any of you that had your pigs that were weighed 100 and some pounds, you would bring those in. The next class will be in the 200. So we look for Jonathan Harvey, Alexis Eversman, Mariah Fitzgerald, Michaela Fitzgerald, Madeline Fitzgerald. Should be bringing in your market guild. So the next class of market guilds that will come in will be Lily Ditka, Owen Shukart, Morgan Fitzgerald, and McCoy Kruger. You guys are coming in next. Class of market guilds, we have 5 very good hogs. All of them will be blue ribbon hogs. They're all adequate in their growth, they're good in their structure. When we get in and evaluate the 5 animals, there are some distinct differences. To me, it gets to be a fairly close top pair. We got the market gilt that's going to be first in place is the white hog here of the young man. I think she's just got, in terms of her overall structure, performance, and the flexibility and soundness that she has as we project her to be a heavyweight market hog, is just an advantage over our second place gilt, the Hampere. I do grant that this is the heaviest muscled hog in the class. She is extremely heavy muscle. Maybe at the point of getting a little too much muscle on her. As we get older, she's going to tighten up more. Doesn't have quite the flex and reach that we have in our top hog. But again, a market hog that is very good. We get to our next pair of the crossbred of black hogs that are left very close to the design. I'm going to go with the lighter hog here. Primarily due to her flexibility and muscle design. She's a little deeper down through her forehead. The young lady will be in fourth.
Similar type hog, but not quite the expression of muscle, a little more arch over top, not quite the reach that we have in her. The young lady with the Hereford hog in 5th place, a very good hog. She just did 4 very tough competitors in front of her. When you look at her, she doesn't have the stoutness of bone. She gets a little narrower, particularly down low to her lower ham as compared to the 4 hogs placed above her. But a hog in terms of her condition and growth and future performance is still very acceptable by all industry standards.
All right, thank you very much, exhibitors. Keep those hogs close here because we have one more class to come in, and those are coming back. We'll actually be bringing back the top 2 out of this class here in the next. So Jonathan Harvey and Alexis Eversman, you'll be bringing yours back in after this next class. So coming in the ring now should be Lily Ditfa, Owen Schuchart, Morgan Fitzgerald, and McCoy Kruger. Hope you're enjoying our live streaming coverage of the 2021 Wabasha County Fair Swine Show. I'm Brian Winnekins for WRDN Radio. And again, thank you to our sponsors, including Wisconsin Credit Union, Shannon Crop Services, Synergy Co-op, the Happy Duck LLC, 24/7 West Wisconsin Telecom, and El Sevilla Co-op. We'll have the beef show later on today as well. And we well, one of the hogs is just like going, I really don't want to be here. You woke me up this morning. I'm just going to run now. The heck with it.
Again, an excellent class of market bills. All very acceptable in terms of their overall design and their hogs that are functional and still work great for the industry. So all of them will be blue ribbon hogs. When we end up looking, I think we have a gilt that comes to the top of the class quite easily in the white gilt in front of me here. The young lady's done a nice job of presenting this hog. When you see she's got some reach, structure, and power to it. You can see her as she strides up. You see movement in her blade. She carries her thickness down to her lower half. Has some shape over her top and has some flexibility in her market weight. You can go, there's about a 50-pound difference in weight in these hogs in the ring. But when you look at her from behind, you get down low to the lower half, you see the width and dimension there, you can see the expression of muscle in it. When we get to the next 3 hogs, it gets a little closer. In second will be the Duroc hog on the far side of the ring. I think she's won initially when she comes out, and I'm not sure how well she'll get out stride. When she gets on the move, she is better than I'd expect. She is the second heaviest muscle hog in the class. You particularly see that down through the center section and lower section of her ham. She has more shape out over the top than the remaining 2 hogs. When we get there, third place will be the big white gilt on the far end of the ring. She's give her an advantage of length and structure over the red hog in front of her. At that weight, she'd probably be a little leaner than the Duroc hog. But she just doesn't have the overall muscle mass to her or the durability and skeleton or the width down low as compared to the 2 above her. The young man surfing cross hog, that's next in class, a hog that gets around the ring very well. But when you look, she is the lightest creature in terms of her overall bone mass. When you get down low on her hand, she just gets narrower down low as compared to the four above her, or the three above her, excuse me. But yet, four very good hogs, all practical and very functional for the poultry industry. Let's give these exhibitors a round of applause.
The top two exhibitors in this class, we stay in the ring. Stay in the ring if you were the top two. If you were, so that's Lily Ditma and Morgan Fitzgerald. And then Jonathan Harvey and Alexis Eversman, if you could bring your market guilt back to the ring.
Yeah, they just sell the ribbon. I gotta show the top two out of the two I didn't know what take them out, you know, that's what they can put that in your hand. Yeah, so that's what she's, that's what was in her mind. I just wasn't vegetarian. She was. We rented some sand ground down in number 7 going to possession.
We've talked about these. I think we got two really good class winners to compare. To me, they're very similar in the design. We've just got a bigger package in the white bill. When we get to the comparable weights, the spotted gilt's going to be very similar in look and shape to her. Today we're going to go with the white gilt to be from the heavyweight class as our champion market gilt in the class. Again, I just think when you get that package, there isn't much risk in her. She's proud of one of the heavier muscle. She gets out with a lot of reach, and when she gets on the move, you can see the expression of muscle in her shoulder and down through her hand. The spotted gilt will be our reserve. Again, very similar in design. Third in this lineup will be the half-marked hog, and fourth will be the Durham. Let's give these market gilt exhibitors a round of applause.
So our grand for market gilt, Lily Ditma, and reserve grand, Jonathan Harvey. So coming in next is our purebred market barrels. Purebred market barrels, we have Madeline Fitzgerald, Mariah Fitzgerald, Michaela Fitzgerald, Morgan Fitzgerald.
Watching the Wabasha County Swine Show at the Wabasha County Fair. I'm Brian Winnekins on WRDN. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast and live streaming coverage today. Again, we're using our cell phone hotspot, so we might experience some buffering. Just to be patient if you are experiencing that, but so far hopefully things are working well on your end. Reminder, we'll have the beef show later on today at about 1 o'clock. Also, farmers, don't forget, you can always listen to WRDN online at our website at realcountry1430.com. Click on the Listen Now button. We feature 7 hours of farm programming a day, including our afternoon agriculture afternoons with Chip Flory with Agri Talk from 1 until 3, and Mike Adams with Adams on Agriculture from 3 till 4. We have our noon show at about 12:30 or so with farm news, markets, Max Armstrong's Midwest Digest, and more. And we have our morning farm report as well from 5 to 7 a.m. Monday through Friday. Again, you can listen online at realcountry1430.com and just click on the Listen Now button. You can also listen over the radio as well at 107.3 FM and 1430 AM.
So in the ring right now, we have our purebred market hero class. And from this class, we will take the top 2 that will come back and compete against the top 2 in our CrossFit market hero class. Purebred class, it looks like we have some perfect purebred as well as some direct purebred. State Fair has CrossFit classes that kids can show in and purebred classes that kids can show in. Typically there are separate classes for the Durocs and the State Fair, depending on how many actual registered as herpers. You can have individual herper classes as well. Once they get to the State Fair, if there aren't enough for a particular class, they go into what they call an all-other breed class, which shows sometimes it's a spot, sometimes a spotted class, or sometimes it could be a herper class. But a few years ago, we started to encourage kids to get into these purebred classes because there's a really good chance at the State Fair for you to show well against other purebreds. So, looking right now, it looks like we have a nice purebred class.
That's where Susie figured she was going to stay in the room because she's not going to be one of them successful but she never got to really help me. If she did that, well, she said she'd like to go, let's see. And then refrigerator, and she always gives
Well, it's great to see the quality of the swine that you have in your show. So far, we haven't had any hogs that aren't practical or functional for the industry when you take them back out. I think that's an important part of this process. So now we get into looking at the nickel and dime parts of it. We want hogs that are functional. They've all been to this point, all been cared for well, they're fed well, they're in the right condition. We haven't had any of them that have been overfed. When we get out here in this breeding division, these two breeds are built to be different. The Hereford hogs traditionally are more maternal in the marketing. They aren't the power and mass that you typically have in the Duroc hogs. In this particular ring today, we do have a couple of Duroc hogs that I think excel. You can see in their expression of muscle, the power in their bone, their width down low one. We're going to go with the young man in front of me in his first place hog in this breeding barrel class. As you see him when he gets out and reach, you can see the muscle over his contour. He's got some expression down to the center, lower part of his ham. He's still real lean. You can see a movement in his shoulders. When you get behind him, he's real wide base. You can see that muscle expression. The young lady's Duroc barrel in second, very similar in design. Because he's a heavier weight and he's a heavier hog, he is carrying more condition. I think they're very close to me in their overall placing, but I just give the hog and top an advantage in his leanness right now, and when you take the muscle to fat ratio, he has an advantage. When we get next to it, we have a closer pair. The young lady's barrel running on the far side over there will be third in class. He's for a Hereford hog. He has a lot of looseness and flex to him. When you see him out and walk, he's very loose in his spine. He relaxes. He has a lot of reach. He's probably the next heaviest muscle hog in the class. Fourth place will be the lightweight barrel over here. He may have leanness compared to the hog above him, the muscle to lean. He does have an advantage. He's a lightweight hog. As he gets a little heavier, he'll put on condition. But you like to see how he gets out and moves. I would just, like I said, he's a little bit lighter, not quite as deep through his chest wall. The young lady in front of me will be fifth, a very practical hog. But when you look at it, he's carrying the most condition of the other hogs. When you get down to his head, a little flatter, not near as expressed in his muscle. A very practical hog that just doesn't quite excel in muscle or trimness of the forelegs placed above them. But again, 5 blue ribbon barrels out here, all very good hogs. Let's give them a round of applause.
So the top two in that class be prepared to come back in after we move through our crossbred market barrel class. Next up, we have crossbred market barrel. We have Willie Nitspot. Has 2, Jonathan Harvey, Nolan Kruger, Owen Schuchart.
Watching the Wabasha County Fair Swine Show for 2021. I'm Brian Winnikins from WRDN. And please, we remind you, thank all of our sponsors. Without their support, we wouldn't be able to do this. Thank you to Osteoplastics, Martin Transport, Robert Heating and Plumbing, Compure Financial, SFB Security Financial Bank, El Sylvia Co-op, also 24/7 in West Wisconsin Telecom, the Happy Duck LLC, Synergy Co-op, Shannon Crop Services, and Wisconsin Credit Union. Again, please thank all of our sponsors. They're the ones that are making our live streaming coverage from the Wabasha County Fair, and also next week at the Dunn County Fair, we'll be live streaming the dairy, beef, and swine shows, and also at the Buffalo and Pepin County Fair, we'll do the same, and we'll also be doing this as well at the Pierce County Fair this year. So it's something we decided to do after last year's popularity of our Dunn County Fair livestock show live streams we did last year in the middle of the COVID pandemic. And not only that, but we're also going to try and live stream the auctions as well from all of the fairs. So again, thanks to all of our sponsors. Please thank these businesses and organizations. They're the ones that are making our live streaming possible here on our YouTube channel at Durand Broadcasting WRDN. Like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click the little bell for notifications. That way you're notified when we have new live streams. Like later on this afternoon at 1 o'clock, you'll be notified when we start the beef show live stream from the Wabasha County Fair.
Oh, shit.
Managed and fed well. We've got about 100 pounds difference in heavyweight barrels sort to the top of the class. When they get to this weight, they're both a pair of pretty good hogs. There's some differences in them. We've got more flex and reach in the white hog. As you see him move around, he has heavier muscles. You can see when you just look at his hand from here right down to that lower and center portion of his hand, he's just more massive. You look at over his top, he's wider top. But he's also heavier condition. You look down low, he's pushing a little more condition than the Hampshire cross barrel that's next to him. The ham barrel is a big barrel, very lean, very uniform in his condition for that way. So that makes him a close pair for me. I think today I'm going to go with the white hog primarily because he's sounder in the structure, he has more reach, and the advantage in muscle. And granted that ham hog is a leader hog, and being heavier is carrying that, but a pair of very good pigs. When we get to the middle, we have kind of similar with the two lighter weight hogs, kind of the same type situation. In third, we're going to go with the white hog in front of me. Again, primarily based on structure and his depth of rib and his looseness in stride. As I project him to get up to me in the weights of these pigs, he will be sounder in his design. I do have a little concern with the ham barrel that is in fourth. It gets a little tighter in his rib, maybe not quite as free in the structure, and not near as expressive in his muscle, but yet a very good hog, but one that, again, is very solid. And then the young man's spot cross barrel here. Again, very sound, but just the lightest muscle. When you see him walking, you don't see the expression of muscle through his hand. When his shoulder, it blends in. He is the heaviest condition hog in the class. Not over fat, but a very solid hog, but just ready to more pre-stone competitors about. Let's give these exhibitors a round of applause for this class.
We'll take the top two from each of those classes. So Lily Ditby had the 1 and 2, so those can remain in the ring. And then we'll also call back Madeline and Mariah Fitzgerald from the Purebred Market Barrel class. Nolan Kruger, did you have one in that last class?
All right, as we select our champion market barrel in here, we've talked about these pigs again. The hogs, 4 very high caliber hogs that will be competitive at state level. They can handle a lot of competition. There is some advantage when we separate the breed, how much work with. So that is part of it when we're judging. We take into consideration, giving some credit for that. They still have to earn their own merit on their own design and time. But when all things are equal, the advantage goes to the one these hogs very well. But our champion market barrel being the young lady with the Duroc hog. I just think he will be very competitive. He's got some flexible movement, some shape over the top. You can see him working his hand and boy, and still has a lot of shape. He's lean. You see the pushing behind his shoulder into his flank. For reserve, it gets to be a little closer to me. I think as we talked about it in class, symbols with the white hawk in third, but I give him an advantage in his leanness. They're both heavy muscle up, but particularly when you look at his shape, he has his through his belly. Very good hogs. Let's give them a round of applause.
We're going to go through their lineup. If we could have the grand and bring our grand market field. We should say.
You did everything she's did for me. I'm fighting. Shut some women right off.
So grand market field is the ring. The grand breeding field. All the reserves for the classes, please have your animal ready to enter the ring as well. So as we do the state fair lineup, as we go through this, some of you aren't showing your exact animal because you might have multiple animals out here. So as soon as you work through that animal is being shown for.
That was like NASA.
All right, as we come to our overall, all the hogs are well trained and tell the kids have worked with them, which is really important. And I think it bodes well. We did have a lot of numbers, but when the quality's here, it will continue to get better. Competition creates improved quality, and it's great to see the young kids with their skill and they've been working with them. So we've talked about all these animals a lot. The Duroc Barrow's been out a long time. He's very lean. Expressed in his muscle. The Champion Market Gill, kind of just a little trimmer, heavier muscle version of the Champion, of the crossbred Market Barrel that was just out here. We have a real big, long, powerful Hampshire breeding gill. To me, when we get going, I'm going to go with the white Market Gill for being our overall champion. I just love her freedom of movement. She's kind of a combination hog. She's really lean. You can see how lean she is. You can see her shoulder move. Right behind her shoulder, she's not pushing fat. Still tight and trim in her belly. And once she walks, you can see the expression in her hand. Reserve's going to be our champion. Purebred Market Barrel. This Duroc hog, as we talked, again, another very expressively muscled, lean bay hog. I think they'll be excellent representatives for you at the state fair. So let's give them a round of applause, and then we'll start bringing in the other animals that do the state fair line.
So we have our reserve market guild now and our reserve market barrel coming to the ring. Champion breeding guild to the ring. So now we're sorting through all of the exhibitors right now and their animals, get an overall state fair lineup, and so we'll take a little bit of time. We'll basically have all of them on the list, and get to show other animals and get through the swine show. They get to choose which ones they want to take to the state fair. And in the swine, we have 6 trips to the state fair this year.
So we had our champion overall hog. That goes first in state fair lineup reserve. Now I'll select state fair lineup. So we'll keep working down the line as we go. Our third place hog in the lineup will be the reserve market guild right in front of me. So now we'll need you'll be third. You can go up. You're third in the state fair lineup. So now we'll bring in the next market guild in lineup, and we may have 2 places because we have champion in reserve. Now the next one's in line is going to be for spot 1.
So Alexis Eversman, Morgan Fitzgerald, with your market guilds.
Yep, and you're still there. Yep, just wait. Because we're fixing kind of like
Just as important.
So we can bring in the next in the market gill class.
Whoever plays behind, you can go on. Yeah. Okay, this one can go on too.
Owen and Madeline, your market gills to the ring. So, Jonathan Harvey, if you bring in your market barrels, and Harold family, bring in your market barrels at 2 o'clock. Please bring them in.
So you think this pig can go out? Take him out. Take him out.
Okay, if you haven't been in for the state fair lineup, you could bring your animals in from any of the classes.
We'll do the other.
Anyone who wants to still be in the state fair lineup, if you haven't had your pig out here, please bring your pig to the ring for the state fair lineup.
You did good.
Okay, we're going to begin or start with our beginner showmanship. And this is for grades 3 through 5, and that's the grade that you just completed. So if you completed grade 3, grade 4, or grade 5, if you just completed it, you should be coming to the ring to start our beginner showmanship.
It's the Wabasha County Fair Swine Show. I'm Brian Winnikins for WRDN. And hope you're enjoying our live streaming coverage. Do understand it's buffering a little bit. Again, trying to have the settings at least as low as we can go so that we prevent some of the buffering. We apologize for that. That is one of the hazards of trying to do some of these programs and some of these shows with limited internet. But again, thank you to our sponsors as well. Without our sponsors, we wouldn't be here, period. So thank you to Wisconsin Credit Union, Shannon Crop Services, Synergy Co-op, the Happy Duck, 24/7 West Wisconsin Telecom, Pierce Pepin Cooperative Services, Alcivia Co-op, SFB, Security Financial Bank, Robert Heating and Plumbing, Compeer Financial, Martin Transport, and Osseo Plastics. We'll be doing the beef show later this afternoon at 1 o'clock. Right now we're getting ready for showmanship here in the hog show.
Exhibitors that wish to be in the auction, if you want an auction form, you can pick it up here at the head table, and it is due to the 4-H office down in the event center by 12 noon tomorrow. And if you wish to be in the auction, immediately after the show, we are having pictures right over here in the corner by the sign. So in order to be in the auction, you have to have your picture taken with your animal, and we will also need your forms turned in by 12 o'clock tomorrow. So auction forms are right here if you want to be in the auction tomorrow.
Let's give these exhibitors a round of applause. This is, for me, this one's the toughest class all day. I decide which one of these exhibitors deserves the champion showmanship trophy. You know, it's really important. There's a lot of this you can tell all of these hogs have been worked with. They respond well to the exhibitors. You can tell when the kids put in work, time and work, and they all mind. I asked them what their most difficult part, favorite part of working their hogs was, and they all had good answers, getting them broke to work with the whip as they do it. You know, and that's there to help them get direction and keep the hogs moving. If they aren't used to that, they're going to run around and not respond. All of these hogs respond very well. The other part with showmanship that's important is directing where the hog goes and keeping them at a nice distance from the judge so I can see them, but not on their feet, not hidden behind other hogs. And so, again, all three of these do a very good job. So it gets to be, for me, a tough decision. So as we do that, the other thing, there's different time when they've been in the ring. You got, breeding gilt, you had time your hog could rest. The market gilt, this red barrel's been in and out of the ring quite a bit. He's starting to get a little bit sick of being here. So that makes it incredibly close decision for me. In this division, our champion showman's going to be the young man right in front of me with the Herman Hill. I think today I would give him a little advantage on the other three. Just the eye contact he makes, knowing where I am when I moved around, and keeping the hog at a distance as I moved around the ring and getting late. That would just be an advantage that he would have today. And second's going to be the young lady with her ear up. Again, very close places. He's been out here a lot. She is still handling it very well. It was a long time on it. Just probably as we got in there, keeping track of where I am. But three excellent exhibitors. The young man with the white gilt, again, very attentive. That hog has been worked with a lot. You can see how he handles it. Maybe the one thing that is really keeping track of where the judge is. But I think on a given day, any one of these three could win, and it was my toughest decision on there, trying to pick out who's going to be win and who would be second in this class. So, congratulations to all three of you. Excellent work. Let's give them a round of applause.
Next will be intermediate showmen. These are exhibitors in grades 6 through 8. Again, 6 through 8, and that being the grade that you just completed. So I know some of you think you're 9th graders already, but not yet. So grades 6 through 8. Again, those of you who are thinking you're going to be in the auction, we have auction forms up here that need to be turned into the fair office. Turn these auction forms into the fair office by 12 o'clock tomorrow, as well as you need your photo over here in the corner with your animal immediately after the show. All our intermediate showmen are entering the ring now. This year we have more new exhibitors in the Swine than we've had in many years, so it's nice to see, and they did a great job with the projects this year. So exciting to see a lot of new exhibitors in the Swine. like to offer a big thank you to everyone who's been helping out with the fair this year, from the 4-H Extension Office to the County Fair Board. It takes a lot of people to put this fair together. We have members of the Wabasha County pork producers who have been helping out with the show ring today, as well as Wabasha County pork producers who are always donating to our projects, to our show facility, as well as providing scholarships to our students as they graduate from high school. They show through high school, and we've been offering scholarships for these kids for many years. So thank you to the Wabasha County pork producers. This past year, many of you would know that Sandy Gherkin, who was a long-time member of the Wabasha County pork producers, organized it. She passed away a few months back. So just kind of remember Sandy today. She's always instrumental. She's always been helping out with their show. She runs our food concession stand, this event and many other events. Props go out to Sandy and her family today, who has been extremely instrumental in Wabasha County pork production for many years. So thank you to all of our volunteers who have made this show available today or possible today. In the ring right now are our intermediate showmen. Up next are our senior showmen.
All right, let's give our intermediate showman a round of applause. In this division, I think we have a young lady that sticks out with her skills and showmanship, the young lady with the white belt in front of me. I really like her poise and presence in the ring when she's moving her arm around. If we look at the distance that she keeps, you can just see when that she's got her hawk trained well and holds it set up. She manages his movement. It's a real advantage to the rest of the ring. She's one you can use for those of you that are new or starting. You can watch how she does things and you can learn a lot. That takes a lot of work. She's very, like I said, keeps the hog at a nice distance from me, always moving him around. We get to reserve, it gets a little closer on it. We got the three young ladies in here have more experience on it. They've had more years of showing. The young man at the corner is in his first year on it. No, overall that doesn't make it. It's just, I think it's interesting to have that point of reference. The young ladies, when you look at their hogs, are incredibly calm and tame. They've been out in the ring a lot, but it's been more difficult trying to keep them moving. So as they need to learn when they get real tame and calm, you need to learn how to keep them moving without using the whip too much. And then also, because the whip is there as a guide, it's not one to be a discipline type thing for the hogs. And we have to watch our images. The one young lady I talked with, her wig wasn't big and maybe used it more than she should. But our image in agriculture, if someone's never been around a farm and they see a pig with that whip on it and getting throttled a little bit, you have to be careful. That can set the wrong message for them. So that's where controlling the use of that. When we get to reserve, I am going to go with the young man out here. primarily when we got in the ring this time and earlier, he's very good at keeping a distance and moving the hog around in front of where I'm looking. As I moved around the ring, he was the one that would be back and keeping that distance like this. As one as I turn, he's always in my sight. He's moving into my sight without being right under my feet like so. He will be your reserve showman. 5 excellent showmen out here again. I think you have a great set of hog exhibitors here that keep the level of competition high and it keeps people getting better because you know you got someone pushing you that's coming up behind you or your friend. Thank you.
So as we bring our senior showman in again, those of you who want to be in the auction on Saturday, you need this auction form needs to be to the Ferry 4-H office by noon tomorrow, as well as immediately after the show, you need to have your photo taken with your project. As we conclude with our senior showman, I want to thank Mr. Taylor again for coming out and judging our show. It takes a lot of volunteers and a lot of time and work for all of us to come together. And we need the judges in our community who are willing to travel around and give their time during the week and on weekends to make these events happen. So thank you for your expertise. Really appreciate it. As we work through, we have our senior showman in the ring right now. Let's give our senior showman a round of applause. We get to the end of the day, being in and out of the ring, it starts to wear on you. I think, again, as I said all day, I'm really impressed with the level of quality and the skill of the exhibitors. I think it's great to see that they're taking the project seriously. They're putting time in it. It isn't the grab a pig and show up in a week and then having them running all around the ring. The other thing for those of you that aren't involved in 4-H or have young kids, there is no better family project than a livestock project. It takes mom and dad to be involved with them. You spend some quality time with your kids. It's one of the few things that we're active at the beef cattle shows, so we bring new kids every year with us. We try to get them started. If they get involved, we usually take them to State Fair. We'll go to Denver Stock Show, and they get to participate out there on the national level. But being involved with these projects like this, it's one of the few times as a parent when you're talking straight across with your kids. You're helping them trying to figure out what can we do better. Why did that one?
they beat us. Why did we do better? What do we need to do to improve? It's one of the greatest family pastimes that there are. So strongly encourage you, if you haven't, or you have family members that have young kids, they learn so much, and they learn a lot about it. The animals are just the tools. They're not even though they get a lot of the focus, but with like these pigs, you learn to give them up. The pigs go on, you know they're going to be consumed for the most part, and you learn you start again. And that's an incredibly important lesson for kids to learn when they adjust with that, because sometimes it's going to be someone that's close to them that they lose, and you find out life still goes on. It hurts to give them up or to lose them, but you keep going on. And I just can't express the value of being in these livestock projects, and from a family activity point, and what it does for the young people's efforts. The other thing I say, the kids that are out here aren't lazy kids. And we do that a lot. The lazy kid doesn't get involved in the livestock project. Yeah, there's days when we all have to get our butts kicked to get out there and do our chores, but you learn that responsibility. And for a lot of kids, it's a way for them to find a passion. If they aren't gifted in school, or if they aren't gifted in sports, or aren't gifted with band, it's one of the last places where hard work can be fun. And anyone can become a great hog showman or meat showman with work. You don't have to have natural intelligence. For those of you that are young, when you're at state fair, county fair, and somebody's better, watch what they do and ask them. Too many people are afraid to ask. Don't do it, just trial and error. Use other people's experience and skill to get better. It's another great lesson in life. We have two excellent showmen out here, a little different in their styles. Today, we're going to go with the young man. He's really smooth with his barrel, how he handles it. He's very calm. Probably the one time when he got a little chaotic, we were doing state fair lineup, he had his pig right up here in front of me. I couldn't hardly get him out of my way. But he was going to make sure I saw the pig, and he kept moving it in. And it helped when it's a little chaos. If they're all running around, but there's one here trying to decide between 2 or 3 animals, and this one keeps popping up. It sure improves your odds. So hats off, but he is very calm and collected. The young lady is really smooth also. She's got a nice presence in the ring with it. She's calm. She makes good eye contact. She doesn't have many years of experience, but incredibly competitive. As you can see, if both of them walk their hogs around the ring, they've been out here a long time. If they weren't skilled showmen, the hogs would be controlling them instead of the other way around. So, again, for you younger exhibitors, you got 2 people you can use to build on and learn from. I really enjoyed judging the show. Thank you for having me over, and good luck to all of you as you go on with State Fair and coming back next year. If you have any questions, I'll be around a little bit. Happy to answer questions from anyone, too. Thank you.
And again, you've been watching the Wabasha County Fair Swine Show here from the Wabasha County Fair. Thank you to our sponsors, Osteoplastics, Martin Transport, Hurlburt Heating and Plumbing, Compeer Financial, SFB, also Alsivia Co-op, 24/7 in West Wisconsin Telecom, the Happy Duck Synergy Co-op, Shannon Crop Services, and Wisconsin Credit Union. Coming up at 1 o'clock this afternoon, we'll have the Beef Show from the Wabasha County Fair. Reminder, this show will also be saved on our YouTube channel at Durand Broadcasting, WRDN. From the Wabasha County Fair, I'm Brian Winnikins.